Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will speak about a man who is referred to as one of the two. This phrase in Surah At-Tawbah, Ayah 40, refers to none but Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, the one whom Allah bestowed the blessing of being the closest companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. No one was more dear to Abu Bakr than Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr became the Amir of Medina, the successor of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Bakr loved Allah so much that he would do lots of good deeds in private that only he and Allah al-Basir, the one who sees everything, would know. In this story, we will talk about one of his deeds among his many, many deeds. The story starts with the curiosity of Umar al-Khattab, who was also one of the closest companions of our dear Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Umar used to notice that Abu Bakr would not be around after Fajr prayer and would only be seen after the sun has risen and there's brightness in the sky. Where does he go? Wondered Umar. He decided to follow him and see for himself and uncover what keeps the Khalifa Rashidin busy in those early hours of the morning. Allahu Akbar, called the Fajr Adhan the next morning. After completing the Fajr Salah and the morning Adhkar, Abu Bakr set off for his mysterious task. Umar followed close behind. He noticed that Abu Bakr is walking into the desert, out of the city of Medina. He reached an isolated house and he entered it. Umar waited outside patiently. Abu Bakr stayed inside the house until the sun came up. Then he came out and walked back towards the city. Umar kept himself hidden and went knocking on the door of the unknown person. When the door opened, it was an older woman who was quite weak, and she was also blind. What is Abu Bakr doing at her house? Umar would have wondered. He asked the woman, "Who is that man who just left your house? And what does he do here?" She replied, "I do not know who he is. He just comes to my house every morning in the early hours and cleans my house, does everything that needs to be done, and then he serves me some food and leaves, all without saying a single word." Umar always had the best thoughts about Abu Bakr and knew the importance of having some good deeds hidden and just under Allah's watchful eyes. After the passing of Abu Bakr, Allah willed that Umar al-Khattab would succeed Abu Bakr as the Khalifa Rashidin, the leader of the Muslim Ummah. Allah also inspired Umar to continue serving the old blind woman. Umar prayed Fajr, did his morning adhkar, and left the masjid and went on his way to help the blind woman, just as his predecessor Abu Bakr did. He knocked on the door, entered, and did all the chores of the house. The last thing he did before leaving was serve the woman some food. He also did all this without saying a word. As he was about to leave, the woman picked up the date that he had served and put it in her mouth. As she did that, she asked, "Has your friend passed away?" Omar was surprised at this question. One reason is, how did she know he was not him, as she can't see? And Omar did everything that Abu Bakr did. And second reason is, Abu Bakr never spoke to the woman, and Omar also did the work without saying anything. So with these two reasons, Omar was puzzled as to how the woman is able to guess that the person who helped her today is not the same person who has been helping her this whole time. So he turned around and asked her, how did she know that he is not the same person? She immediately replied, because you did not remove the seed from my date. Omar's heart was taken aback, and his eyes could not hold back the emotion he felt inside. Tears flowed down his cheeks, thinking how Abu Bakr, the leader of the Muslim Ummah, would not forget to even remove the date seed of this old blind woman. He had the time and the compassion to think that this blind woman might feel some discomfort if she bites into a date and suddenly feels a seed inside. He did not let go of any opportunity to fulfill his duty as the leader of the Ummah. He also feared and loved Allah so much that he took each and one of his responsibilities seriously, even if it's something that might slip all of our minds, such as to remove a small obstacle from the path of our fellow brothers and sisters in faith and the entire humanity. Crying and understanding the rank that Abu Bakr holds, Omar said, "Oh Abu Bakr, you have left us all behind." By this, Omar meant Abu Bakr left everyone behind in his good deeds and his taqwa of Allah. Taqwa means being aware that Allah watches you at all times. Even when no one else can see you, Allah sees you. Abu Bakr had this sealed in his heart, and that is why it did not matter to him that no one saw him do this noble deed, and neither did it matter that the woman did not even know that he was the Amir of Medina, because the one that mattered most to him, our Rabb, our Creator, sees him. And he wants the one who loves him most, loves us all most, Allah, to reward him for his deeds. Now let's take a moment to understand the first two leaders of the Muslim Ummah after the passing of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These two men were the leaders of an empire, a rapidly growing Muslim empire. If they wanted, they could have easily sent someone to do all the chores of the blind woman's household and take care of her. But no, not these leaders. They knew the value of carrying out such an important task with their own hands, the task of caring for the disabled and elderly, a task that should not be delegated. They knew that Allah would question them on the day of judgment of their responsibilities, and they would be answerable to everything and would not be able to pass the question off to someone else. This is the thinking that we need to develop today. One is that Allah is always watching. Two, every single good deed counts, no matter how small you might think it is. And three, Allah would most certainly, without a doubt, ask you regarding everything that He put under your control. Your parents, your siblings, your pets, your friends, your neighbors, and everyone that you have a responsibility towards. So let's start kindness towards everyone we love and care about by smiling at them. This is the end.